going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. I've got a random collection of clips today. Not going to lie to you guys. It was a struggle putting together tonight's show because I spent a lot of time in a courtroom today, and you guys are going to hear more about that project, but I was in a Zoom court today, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, let's just say that. Let's move forward, though. Let's see what's on tonight's schedule. We have Judge Iroki. We have some Magistrate Braley. I don't think I have Judge Washington. I almost said Judge Washington. And a couple others. You know what? I'm rambling. Let's just play. Before we get into it, though, we have a new member. Actus Trumps Menswear. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family, and thank you. I like your name. All right. Yeah, let's go. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Record in two cases. City of Conneaut versus Taylor Heisler.
All right. This first guy, I need to go back and look, but his name sounds so familiar. It's a unique name. I think this is a video that I've already covered, where the judge already yelled at this guy. I think so, but like I said, I need to go back. I need to go back and check his name.
Hazeltine 25 CRB 47 and State of Ohio versus Tyler Hazeltine 24 CRB 399. In the 25 CRB 47 case, Mr. Hazeltine was convicted of one count of resisting arrest, a second-degree misdemeanor, was placed on supervised probation with this court. In 24 CRB 399, he was convicted of attempted aggravated possession of drugs, a first-degree misdemeanor again. That was entered on December 30th, 2024. He was placed on supervised probation with this court. Probation violations were filed against Mr. Hazeltine with this court on February 27th, 2025. A hearing was conducted with Mr. Hazeltine as he was incarcerated in the Conneaut City Jail. He entered no pleas to the probation violation complaints at the March 6, 2025 hearing, and today these cases are set for a final revocation hearing. Mr. Hazeltine is appearing from the Conneaut City Jail. This hearing is being recorded utilizing whereby.com. Mr. Hazeltine is represented by attorney Philip Heasley. Mr. Heasley is in the courtroom appearing at table 2 on the video. Also in the courtroom are Law Director John Lewis and Probation Officer Sean Benoit, who are appearing at table 1 on the video. Court is in receipt of a report. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, sir. The offer that has been extended to Mr. Hazeltine would be to admit the violations filed in both cases. With that admission, the city would recommend a jail term of 60 days, and that Mr. Hazeltine would be then continued on supervision until his terms of supervision have ended.
I'm not sure. Again, it could be. It's just his name. His name is so unique. I feel like I've heard it before out of Judge Irochi's mouth. So I need to go back and look at the last couple clips because I really think it might be that guy or somebody else I've covered. I don't know. Anyways, you know what? Let's just go.
And Mr. Heasley has indicated to me that Mr. Hazeltine is going to admit the violations today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Heasley?
That is correct, Your Honor. I've discussed, including prior to today's hearing, Mr. Hazeltine's situation with him. He has been in jail since March 5th, and we are in agreement with those recommendations. He's aware that the court does not have to follow the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Hazeltine, it's my understanding today that you wish to enter guilty pleas or admit to the probation violation complaints filed against you in both of these cases. Is that what you wish to do today?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
You understand by admitting or pleading guilty to the probation violation complaints that you are waiving the right to a final revocation hearing, which means you'd be waiving your right to cross-examine witnesses as well as to confront evidence presented against you. You'd be waiving your right to testify or not to testify without any negative connotation. You'd be waiving your right to subpoena witnesses as well as your right to be proven guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. All of those are hearing rights you'd be waiving by pleading guilty or admitting to these complaints. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are represented by Mr. Heasley. Have you had sufficient time to consult with him, and are you satisfied with his counsel?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or prescription medications that might affect your thinking?
No.
Are you currently on probation, parole, community control, or post-release control with any other court?
No.
Has anyone made any promises to you about what your sentence will be in
No.
order to induce you to plead guilty to these complaints?
No.
And are you thinking clearly and do you understand everything that's happening?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask the corrections officer to provide you a Form 5. Form 5. I'm going to provide the same document to your attorney, so do not sign anything. I'm going to ask the officer to scratch off paragraphs 4 and 5 as they do not apply.
Biggin! Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I just left your channel. I didn't see how the DeCastro look-alike. I didn't see how it ended. Last I heard, he was yelling he couldn't breathe. So apparently there's only about 5 minutes left. So I'll catch that after my stream. But Biggin, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the Raiders. You guys are awesome. We just started. This is Judge Irochi. As Jedi calls him, he's Judge Yelly. So we haven't gotten into him yelling yet, but don't worry. I wouldn't have this clip on my page if he wasn't going to yell. So hang tight.
Okay, I'm providing the same document to your attorney at this time.
Miss Orchid Blooms, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Welcome to the new member. Miss Orchid Blooms, that is awesome. Thank you.
These are your written hearing rights in the probation violation hearing, which is right now. We are waiving that pursuant to agreement. This confirms in writing that you have a right to said hearing and what goes with it. I've signed as a witness. Please sign where it says defendant, and give it to the jail attendant, please. Thank you. I have executed on here in the courtroom a written waiver of my client's probation.
Thank you very much. The court does find that the defendant and his attorney have executed in open court the written waiver. The court does find the defendant's plea of guilty or admission to the probation violation complaints to be knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. The court will accept the guilty pleas, and I will therefore find him guilty of violating his probation in each of these cases. Okay, Mr. Heasley, is there anything your client would like to say at this time in mitigation of sentence?
I'll just say, Your Honor, Mr. Hazeltine has, on these cases, been incarcerated since March the 5th. We would hope that the court would follow recommendations for sentencing in these violations. We're aware that the court does not have to do so. It's my sincere wish for this individual that he gets the treatment he needs, and in order to do that, he's got to comply with the rules of treatment. He has been very forthright with me about it.
No, this is not a contract signing. This is a violation hearing, and you're about to hear the violation. Well, I think we already did. He walked out of treatment. He was sentenced to treatment, and when he got there, he just left, which I didn't know was a thing. I didn't know when the court ordered you to go to treatment that it was voluntary. You could just leave. I mean, apparently it wasn't voluntary because he got picked up, but judge isn't too happy with him, and we're about to hear it.
Acknowledging issues, he does wish treatment, and of course, because it's not provided, he is not getting that while he is in jail, and that would go for any jail in the county. So we would hope, Your Honor, that the court impose that which has been recommended. It is my understanding that this court's probation department continues or wants to continue to work with Mr. Hazeltine, and I would hope that whatever is ordered, that this individual would comply with those orders. He's in his early 30s, Your Honor, and he still has much life left to live, and I would hope that he would get things straight, and it's up to him to do so. That's all, Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Hazeltine, is there anything you would like to say at this time before I impose sentence?
I'd just like to say I take full responsibility for what I've done and my actions, and I'm okay with getting what I deserve to get.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, anything further?
I have nothing to add, Your Honor, at this time. Officer Benoit may want to add.
Thank you. Officer Benoit.
Just say that we've made numerous attempts to get him into treatment and bent over backwards to get him there. And each time it's come back and just hasn't complied. We got him out early, jail day, a few days early, I believe. He made it a day into the treatment facility and actually left the facility, Your Honor.
Is he serving a jail sentence on any other cases? He's just being held on this case, these cases?
I believe that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Hazeltine, you know, look, we deal with those who are battling substance abuse and mental health disorders every day. And unfortunately, Mr. Hazeltine, you haven't hit rock bottom. As much time as you spent in prison and in jail, as much time as your life is as much as your life is a total mess, you have not hit rock bottom, which is just mind-blowing to me. That you have not hit rock bottom to realize that you need help and that you really desire to receive help. I entered you into renewal court. We had the assessments all scheduled. You were out in the run. You were out here. You're doing all of this. I released you from jail. We couldn't even get the assessments and screenings done. And then we order you to go to Turning Point. We have you transported directly from the jail to Turning Point. You walk out. And I specifically asked you that. At the time, I says, now, Mr. Hazeltine, I asked, are you going to walk out of Turning Point? And if you do you recognize the consequences you face, Mr. Hazeltine? And you absolutely said, yes, I do, Judge. I sure do, and I need help. Well, you haven't hit rock bottom yet, because if you really felt that way, you would have stayed. And instead, you walked out. I'm done with you, Mr. Hazeltine. I don't know what else to do for you. Your record is a mile long. For a guy who's your age, you have spent more time in jail, it seems, or in prison than you have outside. And it's continued. I mean, you got a big break in one of these cases by having a felony reduced to a misdemeanor. And yet you continue. You continue to just not care. I don't know. That's how I interpret it.
The guy, he's screaming at his computer. The guy's in jail, so we can kind of see him on the TV screen. But Judge has I don't know, it looks like a laptop right in front of him, what he's looking at. So that's who he's screaming at, the guy in jail. Also, the circle on the bench is most likely the Ohio State seal. I can kind of tell. I can kind of recognize it, but it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
You don't care because you haven't hit rock bottom yet. So I'm giving you the maximum sentences in both of these cases. Bear with me. 168 days of jail in 24 CRB 399. I will give him credit for 12 days of jail that he spent from March 5th to March 17th, 2025. This is consecutive to the other sentence in 25 CRB 47 of 76 days. He actually is entitled to jail credit as well in that case. So he will be given an actual jail sentence in that case of 64 days because he's been held on cash surety bonds in both of these cases. So 156 days plus 64 days, so he's got 220 days left to serve. I'm advising Mr. Hazeltine of his right to appeal, of his right to appeal without cost, of his right to have counsel appointed on appeal without cost, of his right to have documents provided him necessary to file an appeal without cost, and of his right to have a notice of appeal timely filed on his behalf. He will be unsuccessfully terminated from supervised probation in each of these cases. Anything further, Mr. Lewis?
No, sir, thank you.
Mr. Heasley?
No, sir.
Okay, these matters are...
All right, that cut off a little bit quicker than I anticipated. Yeah, consecutive sentences. Yeah, FAFO. Should have just stayed in treatment. Again, it's so weird to me. He was released from jail to go to treatment, and he just walked out of treatment. That's just, it blows my mind. It's a possibility. I mean, I guess it makes sense. There's different kinds of treatment. Yeah, just, I don't know. Like it was an alternative to jail, and he just left. Anyways, let's move on. We've got Dave. Thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Legal Fiction rolling in with the 10 gifted memberships. Very generous of you, Legal Fiction. Thank you so much. And welcome to the 10 new members. Legal Fiction, that is awesome. Thank you. Bad Scooter for 14 months. A year and 2 months. Thank you so much, Bad Scooter. I appreciate it. All right. I have no idea what's next. I really don't. Let's see what we got. Oh, you guys remember the attorney no-show? This is the follow-up. So just a quick recap. The attorney the guy who kept coming to court and his attorney never showed up. I played a clip last week where Judge Tammy didn't really go off on the defendant, but she called the attorney from the bench, and we heard the phone conversation. The attorney took a leave of absence without telling anybody except for his assistant. So she called and his assistant answered, and Judge Tammy went off on the assistant. It was gold. But that was last week. This is this week. We finally get to meet the attorney today. All right, let's go.
All right. So the last case on the arraignment calendar is Mr.
Peeps. 14 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Peeps. I appreciate it. And Chris. Chris. I don't know why. Every time I see your name, I just laugh because I know you're gonna have something smart to say. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, people. I appreciate it.
Maple, Lucius Maple. Good
Hey,
morning,
how you
Mr.
doing, Jim?
Maple. I'm good.
I have my attorney, Mr. Dark, with me.
Mr. Dark? Hello?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. I'm trying to get my video sorted, but I am here. I think the court can. Judge, can you hear me?
I hear you, but I sent you a prompt to start your video and it said you will start your video later.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one. It says, okay. All right, here we
Mr.
go.
Dark, I thought you were a myth.
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
Okay, so if
I
you're
think
Mr.
I must
Maple's
have.
attorney, are you gonna file an entry?
That's what I was saying. I think I must not have been actually receiving notices, but
You
I will
didn't
go
file an
ahead and.
entry. We don't, Mr. Dark, I'm about as psychic as they come. But
Uh-huh.
unless you file an entry, I am not going to send you a notice because I don't know that you're his attorney.
And Judge, my apologies on that. I think there was maybe some mix-up. This case was originally bound over from the city of Amaro, and my understanding was that the entry would travel with, but
It never
obviously
does.
that
Please don't
didn't.
rely on that. It never
Yeah,
does.
that didn't happen. So I'll get that in today, so that we can get going. I will say that I do have most, if not all, of the discovery.
All right, so his excuse for not filing an appearance. I mean, I guess that makes sense. So this is circuit court. They waived district court to move it to circuit court, and the appearance didn't follow. So he has to refile the appearance. I can see why that'd be confusing. However, this is the third or fourth hearing, and this is his first time appearing. I hope we don't brush over that.
And we're in a posture for, I guess I need to speak with the prosecutor to see if we can resolve this short of trial. But if not, of course, I would not want to waste the court time. We can go to the next or thereafter trial calendar.
Because he already paid him. He paid him in full, and I'm guessing he likes him. I mean, I would assume that they've talked a lot outside of court, and he probably likes him. He probably has a good plan on how to move this case forward, and I can't fault the client for that, especially if he already paid the guy.
Well,
If
Mr. Dark, this is what I say. First, I need you to file an entry. If you can get that done today, that would be appreciated. Second, is your client entering a plea of not guilty pending your pretrial with the state?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll enter a entry of not guilty and request 10 days to file any appropriate motions.
All right. So these are my rules. These are Hayward rules. I don't like my people who are here all the time know this is how I roll. If you file a not guilty, I don't mind you doing motions. We had motions hearings yesterday. I don't care. What I do care about is folk who file a not guilty and then disappear. And then we never hear from them again and they never pre-try the case. The solicitors are here all day, every day. So please make sure that you don't file a not guilty and just disappear. I need your entry and I need you to pre-try the case. If it goes to trial, fine, I'll give you a good trial. If it goes to a plea, fine, I have multiple opportunities for you to take a plea, but I don't want to waste time.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I sent a message to, I believe, Ms. Ponder but I'm not sure who would be the solicitor, but I'm just trying to make contact with the solicitor. And so I'll certainly pre-try this case with them as soon as I'm able to.
And
Yes,
also
Attorney
make
Dark,
sure,
I am the prosecutor on the case and I've responded to your message.
Okay,
make sure
thank
you
you.
view any videos, body cams, whatever, because when we get to trial, I'm not hearing, well, I didn't get, everything.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, ask around, people will tell you how I roll. All right, so you're entering a plea of not guilty for your client, is that my understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Maple, please keep in touch with your attorney. Your next trial your next calendar date will probably be a calendar call for the trial calendar, so you can be available for that. All trials are in person, so when you are called to trial, your trial will take place in courtroom 304 of the Clayton County State Court in the Justice Center on Tierra Boulevard. Okay, so let's just be clear on that. Anything else? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I look forward to seeing you again, Mr. Dart.
Yes, Your Honor. I will be filing that in today. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. All right,
You
jail
too.
calendar.
Man, no questions about the leave of absence. No questions about not appearing. The only thing he apologized for was the not filing the appearance. That could have been worse, but oh well. Judge Tammy handled it. Hopefully he, Mr. Dark actually appears going forward. All right. Are we going? I think the butthead clip. The butthead clip.
How are you doing, Your Honor?
Yep. Yes. This one's good. This I'm not even gonna really say much about this. I'm gonna call this the butthead clip though. Oh, also, you know what? I'm not gonna say that either. Let's go.
13139. So, Mr. McQuaig, we called you into court to talk about.
I understand why I'm here, sir. Thank you.
To get some of these financial assessments paid.
Well, I'm not going to pay anything because nobody wants this to show me where I did what I was accused of. And you can do whatever you want, sue me, do whatever, garnish you, whatever. I don't care. I'm on no stability and ain't going to touch that. And if you do, oh well. Unless this thing gets watched, and you people can show me on that video where I rushed and grabbed your officer and started this whole mess, you can go kick stones.
Well, we're not here to relitigate the case.
Well, then just do whatever you gotta do. Tell me I'm a butthead, throw me out of here then.
So you indicated that you're on disability.
I am,
Okay, how much is your disability amount?
like less than 600.
Okay.
Yeah, I can help you. He walked in and said, "I'm not paying this unless you can prove I did it. You can go kick rocks. If you're going to demand I pay it, I guess I'm just a butthead because I'm not going to pay it." But he called himself a butthead, which is why I'm calling this the butthead clip. But yeah, he's hard to understand. It's just I don't know if it's his accent or, yeah, it absolutely sounds like he has marbles in his mouth though. But yeah, he pretty much just said, "I'm not paying unless you can prove I paid and prove I did this." But he's already been found guilty of whatever he did.
Do you have other expenses that you're responsible
Well, of course, I got a house payment. I got all kinds of expenses. Way more than my income.
for? Okay. Let's talk about what's your share of the house payment, sir.
I don't know, it's 500. I pay at least half that. I gotta pay car insurance. I got
Hang on.
pay all kinds of stuff, like gas bills, light bills,
Okay.
people think don't give that to you for free.
All right, sir. I'm just trying to get.
I don't even get a food card, so I gotta buy that too. But you guys don't care. Nobody cares, and I don't care. So you know what? Just get me out of here. You ain't gonna get nothing out of me by nothing me for information. You already gave me about the information I'm gonna get out of you. You won't listen to this. Why should I be nice about this? If you guys can't show me where his officers lied on their police report and got me through all this, then I don't care what you people think. You can kick stone for all I care. You guys are telling me kick stones when it comes to watching this, y'all can kick stone.
Mr. McClegg, I'm trying to be fair with you.
I'm being fair. It ain't fair for me to just get stuck with this and have this the whole freaking time. I'm in here 2 years and not have none of you people watch it. That's unfair. This whole freaking trial was unfair. Thank God I actually got a decent lawyer that persuaded that idiot prosecutor.
So are you willing to share any other additional information?
No, I'm not.
About your monthly expenses, sir?
Yeah, I got some. You want to give my monthly expenses? You know more about my bills than I do. I don't even see my money.
I don't hear well. I need to speak. I need earphones.
She's the one that takes care of my finances. I don't even see my money. It just goes into the bank and that's it.
Okay.
If I want money, I gotta go earn it somehow. Really an embarrassing thing, but oh well. Picking up cans, you know, stuff like that.
That's the way they go on?
We call your officers for help.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to wonder that. I was trying to figure that out too. I didn't watch this clip straight through. I saw the first 5 minutes of it, and I was like, I was sold on it. Like, nope, that's going to my clip tonight. So I haven't seen the whole thing. I do vaguely remember her talking, but I don't remember their relationship. I thought it was his wife though at first, but yeah, I think she's a little bit older than that. That might be his mother, but he's on Social Security. I'm guessing that means he's retired. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Sovereign Citizen Encounters. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, bud. Welcome, Hutch. Can one of my wonderful mods please drop Hutch's link? I would very much appreciate that. Thank you so much, Hutch. I appreciate it.
She called me because the neighbors yelling at her and screaming at her. They don't help. My brother that's standing over there or sitting over there, he gets almost run over by a motorcycle, run off the road. You cops don't help. Why would I pay these piece of garbage cops?
Ma'am, what's your name? What's your name?
Nancy Gill.
All right, Ms. Gill. I'm just trying to assess whether.
I can't hear you, sir.
You can come closer if you want. So I'm just trying to assess whether Mr. McQuaig has the ability to pay
No, he doesn't.
these
No.
financial assessments.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, but I need information to back up your conclusion, okay?
Tell them the amounts of all the
Sir,
bills I
stop.
pay.
Stop, I'm talking to her. You asked me to talk to her, so I'm talking to her. All right, he indicated that his disability is about $600 a month. Is that right?
Mhm.
That's a yes? Have to say yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. He indicates that he pays about half the house payment, which is about $250 a month. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know roughly what his car insurance is per month?
$231.
Okay. Other like gas, utilities, phone, that sort of stuff. Can you give me any specifics on those?
Our phone bill, the phone bill runs about close to $400. It's $394.
Okay. Do you or other people pay a portion of that too?
I do, I pay as much as I can, but the mortgage payment is over $500. And I only get $1,500 to pay it, and the LP gas, if I was to run an LP gas, they're gonna set me up on a payment for $105 a month, but that's not what it's been in the past. I've had to pay it all at one lump sum and I didn't have it.
Okay. Are there other people that live in the house that contribute towards the household expenses? So it's just you and Mr. McQuaig? So the total amount of money that you have coming into your house is roughly $2,100 a month.
And I have to buy wood because I burn wood, and the electric bill, because our stove has been broke, so we've had to run the electric bill. And my rec bill was $500 last month, because we had to run some electric heaters to keep warm, to keep the pipes from freezing.
Sure. Do you get any help with food through the Department of Health and Human Services?
I get $37 a month of food stamps.
And how about Mr. McQuaig?
He doesn't get anything.
Okay. So this was a situation where he entered a guilty plea to this charge, and the court assessed only the bare minimum assessments that I had to, and I have to collect them. But I'm sympathetic to the financial situation, but I got to get some payments. So what
I've been paying a little bit on it each month, and that's all I can do.
Okay,
I've been going out, we've been going out collecting pop cans.
She's confused,
That
sir.
much on it. But I
Okay.
intended to keep paying it until I had it paid off, that's all I could do.
all right.
On the charge that had the dog feed, the judge dismissed that case. Because the dog didn't do any damage, he was just wearing down the yard, so.
All right,
That's another incident.
Damage whatsoever.
okay. So it looks like you've been paying $1 here and a couple dollars
I've
there.
been paying so much each, somewhere's between $1 and $2 a month.
Okay. You think we could go up to $10 a month on that?
Huh?
Do you think we could do $10 a month?
Not right now,
Okay,
because I got medical bills on top of that I haven't even started paying on yet.
all right. What's the most that you can do?
That's the most that I can do right now.
$1 a month?
Whatever I can pick up in bottles and cans that I've been putting on it. But I've been trying to at least pay at least $1 a month, but I've been paying sometimes two.
All right. We certainly understand that the outstanding balance is over $1,000.
Oh, there's a reason why I haven't paused it. I went from laughing at this guy to being pissed. I want to call this court and just pay this fine for I want to pay it for her, but the problem is it's not for her. She's taking care of this for the butthead here. This is very frustrating. It's amazing how I saw it all. The mood change in the chat too. We all thought it was funny until she started talking. Like, no, this guy's a jerk.
I know, I know.
And at $1 a month, it's.
I
It's
know
an
it'll be the
awful
rest
long
of my
time.
life. That's all I can do, at least to make it an effort to pay them.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your information. Appreciate it.
And I'll continue. Oh, it's not your card.
They'll take that for you. Okay.
I'll hang it up.
Pardon me?
I said I'm getting the wire, so you're through with me then?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, absolutely. That is a good suggestion there, Duval. That's what the judge needs to do. It's like, all right, fine. You know, you're gonna spend 30 days in jail. They'll take care of the fine for you.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, Mr. McQuaig. I am not going to hold you in contempt of court today. I'm going to put you on a payment plan. And if you do not make the payment plan, then you're going to give the court no option but to hold you in contempt of court. I'm going to order that you pay $5 a month. As long as you pay $5 a month, you'll never hear another word from the court.
Well, they're gonna hear from me in federal court. Thanks for extending this 2 years.
All right. So $5 a month going forward, and you won't hear from us again. That's all for today.
Yeah, that's where it cut off. It's not, that's where the court cut it off. So there was nothing else after that. Oh man. You know what? I'm not even going to continue to talk about that case. I'm angry. Let's move on. What do
The
we have?
record.
Oh, this is a one to lift our spirits. Judge Mogan. She's another passionate judge that does not mind yelling at some people. And we're about to hear it. Let's go.
In the matter 24 CM 127, State of Wisconsin versus Nicholas Butkus Taft. The state appears through Assistant District Attorney Holly Rockow in person. We have Mr. Butkus Taft appearing by video conferencing in custody in Burnett County Jail. We have Zachary Fisher, defense counsel, also by video. We're set today in this matter for a status.
That's an excellent question. Judge Perkins did not stream today. We had a solicited jury trial scheduled today. So what I'm really hoping is that trial went, or maybe it didn't, and it just wasn't on YouTube. But there was absolutely a solicited jury trial scheduled for today, and But yeah, he wasn't on YouTube today. Wasn't on there yesterday. There could be 1,000 reasons why he's not streaming. We don't know what it is. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he just doesn't feel well and he called in. His channel's still there. He hasn't been deleted. And there was at least one other judge from the 36th district that was streaming today. So they haven't blacked out the entire courthouse, but I don't know. Tomorrow is his interpreter calendar, which is a very long and boring calendar, but it's very important because he covers every single Spanish speaker that comes to the 36th district. So if that's not streamed tomorrow, then I'm going to have a really bad feeling about Judge Perkins. It's going to take me a trip up there to figure it out because I don't talk to him personally. He's never responded to any of my emails, even though he gave me his email, but he's never responded to one. So it shows you how much he likes me. All right, let's keep going.
Conference. Mr. Fisher, please update the court.
Your Honor, Mr. Butkus-Taft was picked up on the warrant after he missed the last status conference as his reason was not an emergency. I did discuss this with Mr. Butkus-Taft, and he does understand ultimately that it was entirely his fault and that he, regardless of other outstanding obligations, needed to make sure that this was his first and most important obligation due to the seriousness of these allegations and ultimately that this is a court-ordered request, and it's not a request, it's a court order. He was very apologetic, and if you would like him to make a statement, I am not opposed to him making one today. I will just say that we are ready to resolve this case. We would be ready to schedule this for a plea and sentencing if Mr. Butkus-Taft was to have his bond amended either to a signature bond or to have his signature bond reinstated, or if his cash was reduced. Ultimately, Mr. Butkus-Taft was working before he was arrested. I'm hoping that that job is still available because ultimately I know the money is going to ultimately go towards this restitution that he needs to save up for and pay. And I just hope that he would be able to go back to the community, make sure he keeps working, saving up money for this restitution, because our goal, I believe, will that he prepay quite a large amount. I don't have a specific amount on me right now. I believe it's somewhere in the ballpark.
11,000 something, 11,700 and something, I believe.
Yes, and I believe we were looking at prepaying at least about 2,000 was our goal that we were planning for. So my hope would be that with some time, if he was released from custody, he would be able to save up some money, and then we would be able to come to an agreement that would resolve these matters and benefit Mr. Taft as well as the victims in these matters. So for those reasons, I would request that.
This is Wisconsin. I feel like somebody, I don't know, is Jedi still here? Somebody said that it's far north part of Wisconsin. But yeah, all I know is it's Wisconsin.
The signature bond be reinstated, and or that if there is concern for flight risk for the missed court appearance, I would ask that a lower cash bond be imposed.
Mr. Butkus-Taft, why weren't you in court?
Your Honor, like my attorney said, I take full responsibility for it, but it was an honest mistake. I had my outpatient treatment group until 10 a.m. that day, and just lost track of time. My kids were home from school that day, and they had conferences that my wife was going to go to, so I just started helping them get ready, lost track of time. And
Ohio is considered the Midwest, and that has always blown my mind. How is Ohio the Midwest? You know, you confused about Wisconsin. Just saying.
And it was unintentional, but it was my responsibility to make that court date, and I didn't. So just lost track of time, Your Honor.
Are we in victims' rights compliance for a modification request?
Yes, Your Honor, I did speak. I did contact the victim.
Ms. Rockow?
I might have missed this, but did he turn himself in or was he arrested on
He
the
was
warrant?
picked up in Marin. I believe he was picked up, correct? You didn't go and turn yourself in, and you were
Correct.
picked up. When were you? Explain that to me. When did you find out you had a warrant? You should have found out right away.
I
And,
did find
uh,
out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Your Honor.
Go
I
ahead.
did find out right away. I guess just my train of thought was I'm the only one working, my family. I in hindsight 2020, because now I've missed more work than I probably would have if I turned myself in, but I just wanted to keep going to work and then pay that the $1,000 cash bond. But it would have taken longer to save up that amount of money than I've sat in jail for this warrant. So, I now know I should have turned myself in right away, but yeah, I was aware of the warrant. I just wanted to keep going to work. I didn't want to. Didn't plan on like being on the run for a long time or anything. I wanted to pay that cash bond so we could move forward with this case. Like Mr. Fisher said.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
Your hearing was on February 6th. You knew you had a warrant.
I know.
You weren't picked up until March 11th, over a month. Don't be giving me some story about you wanted to save up that $1,000. That's blarney. That's a story. That's made up. You could have turned yourself in and you could have said right there, just as your attorney's doing right now, could have said, you know what, Judge, I messed up. You know what, Judge, this is what happened. You know what, Judge, I was in outpatient treatment. My class ran late. I have kids. I was taking care of the kids and I needed to get them to conferences. I was being a dad and doing all those things. You could have done that, and you could have done what you're doing now and asking to have your bond reduced at that time. Baloney. Baloney right now. I don't believe you. So in fact, I'm raising bail to $2,000. $2,000 cash bail. Now, that's what it's going to be. So you can figure out how to bail yourself out for $2,000, because I don't believe it. You had from February 6th, 2025 until March 11th, 2025 to figure it out, to turn yourself in, to have your attorney ask the court for leniency like you're doing now. But you didn't. You didn't. And
Your
now
Honor.
you're sitting in court.
Yeah, she did. She said baloney. She said the polite version of bullshit. Baloney. Which actually, for a second with her accent, I thought she said blow me, which might have got her in a little bit of trouble. But nope, it was baloney. I promise.
Court and you're whining and crying and you're saying, but this is a long time I've sat, 7 days. Judge, it's been 7 days I'm sitting in court and now I don't know what to do. You should have thought about that on February 6th. You should have thought about that on February 7th. You should have thought about that on February 8th or 9th or 10th or 11th or 12th or 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, or so on. You should have thought about that. But now you are, because you are in jail. Now's when you're thinking about it. You don't get to have hindsight is 2020. Hindsight's 2020 for everyone. If we all could say, you know what? I should have, would have, could have. We all should have, would have, could have. And now you can't. So now you got to figure out how to come up with $2,000.
Your Honor, may I add something?
You may.
I understand why Your Honor is frustrated, and I'm not going to discuss whether or not the amount of time he was in warrant status was appropriate or not. What I will say is that he did contact me within, I don't know the exact time frame, but I can say at least 2 hours of the hearing, trying to essentially appear either that day or as soon as possible. And I believe you denied that request because it wasn't an emergency at the time.
Do you know what? Because you want to know what this court says? I didn't deny the request, Mr. Fisher. You know what a warrant is? It's either you pay the cash, you turn your butt into jail. That's what you do. And if he didn't have the cash, he could have went to the jail and said, you know what? Here I am. Take me. Here I am. I'm turning myself in, and then go to the mercy of the court. That's what people do. So I don't want to hear that excuse either, Mr. Fisher. He called you within 2 hours. Good, great, wonderful. It's awesome. he called you, but he did nothing after that. He could have turned himself in that day. And then, Mr. Fisher, you could have done what your job is, what you did, and filed a bond motion. And this court could have said, you know what, Mr. Butkus-Taft, I understand. I get it. I get what you were doing. I get the predicament you were in that day and that you had a little bit of oversight in time and you made a mistake. But over a month is not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's absconding. It's purposely avoiding the law. It's purposely avoiding a court's order. It's purposely having criminal thinking. When we have criminal thinking for 4 criminal charges with over $11,000 in restitution that's allegedly owed to somebody. So he may have done the right thing by calling you within a couple hours, but he did a lot of wrong things after that.
I understand, Your Honor.
Let's get a status conference in so we can figure out if this thing's going to be figured out. But I'm guessing that there needs to be a prepayment of some restitution if this thing resolves.
Yes, Your Honor. That was the idea, is that we didn't have the specifics as to whether or not what the terms of the plea would be or what charges specifically, but we were and are currently prepared to stipulate to the restitution being requested, and that was the only remaining issue we had in this case. So we were going to request a plea and sentencing date, but obviously now with his custody status, maybe it would be best if the bond is going to be $2,000 to set a status either at the end of this week or next week. To see
I think a status would be a good idea. This is DA Schmidt's file, but.
Oh, well, I'm glad to know that because I was looking for your week.
Thank you.
April 10th, 9:30.
Could we do earlier?
Actually, you're here April 7th at 10:45, or you're here in March 27th at 10. But I don't know what you're going to get worked out by then.
Yeah, I could April. If I could appear by Zoom on April 7th at 11, we could potentially have a resolution at that point.
Oh, wait, April 7th, not at 11, you may not. I have a motion hearing at 11.
I apologize.
At 10:45.
I can do that then. That works. That's when I have the status on the other case.
April 7 at 10:45. That's what I do. I stack my statuses because they should only take a couple seconds unless there's a lot to argue.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you April 7 at 10:45.
All right. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, she said blarney, not baloney, and not blow me. You know, let's just move on. So I don't know what I have next. What's next? This is a good one. This one's gonna need a follow-up, and you're gonna see why. Magistrate Braley, let's go. Sharky, member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Sharky. I appreciate it. Sorry, Sharky. Thank you so much. Grizzly old fart, you miss her already. Oh, you guys remember when I asked Judge Slavin if he found her attractive when he was on panel? He's like, no, I'm married. I was like, why did I ask him that? Yeah, I still think about that every time I see Judge Mogan. Okay, let's go.
Okay, now calling 23FB1198. This is the State of Michigan versus Shatia Gibbs.
Good morning, Ms. Bradley.
Good morning, Ms. Gibbs. Can I get a public defender on this, please?
Herman Dadush on behalf of Ms. Gibbs.
Okay, thank you. Today is the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter. You were last in front of me on November 19th. That was for an arraignment on a bench warrant that issued November 12th. At that court date, I set you for a violation of probation, hearing in front of the judge, and instructed you to turn yourself in before the next court date. You did not do that. It seems the judge has modified the bench warrant bond amount to no bond. So, Attorney DeDouche.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This courtroom is a bit newer to me. Miss Bashir, could you assist me with this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Magistrate Braley's awesome with sub sits now. Remember when she started? We've seen her progress. She's been on the bench for about a year and 2 months now. It was last January when what was it? It was Nelson before her, right? Magistrate Nelson was before her. And when Braley took over, it was within her first month or two she had a sob sit, and she didn't know how to deal with them. And I actually don't remember if it was a he or if the sob sit was male or female, but Magistrate Braley was like, okay, we're going to set you on the judge's docket. Like, she was confused. She was. And it was like, you'll learn. You'll learn. Now she's good. Now she's good. So I love that we've seen her progression on the bench. It's awesome.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Gibbs. Unfortunately, I do not believe either of us were representing Ms. Gibbs at that hearing. We'll make sure that we call Ms. Gibbs after this hearing. But I'm not sure what happened right now, unfortunately.
So, Ms. Gibbs.
Yeah, she's in training. She just passed her bar like a month ago. We saw her swear in Judge Simpson's courtroom. So yeah, she's fresh out. She's very fresh out of school. So she no longer has to do the I'm here by state rule, whatever, under the supervision of so and so. But she's still new, and this lady's in trouble. So she had to tag in her supervisor.
I can set you for a violation of probation hearing in front of the judge again. But I am instructing you to turn yourself in before the next court date. I am not recalling the bench warrant.
Can you set it like within a week?
March 27th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So that'll be March 27th, 2025. That will be at 10 in the morning over Zoom in front of Judge Washington.
I can't turn myself in. I got kids, so I'm just
Ms.
have to
Gibbs,
figure it
Ms.
out.
Gibbs, it's in our best interest to not say anything right now.
Okay. Well, call me when we get off of here.
Yes, once I'm done with this docket, I will call you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the no bond and the bench warrant are being continued at this time. And Ms. Gibbs, I am going to instruct you to turn yourself in before the next court date. Any questions or anything else from anybody?
Or Magistrate Braley, would you
Yes.
mind repeating that time again? Is it 10 a.m.?
Correct. 10 in the morning.
And also, Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Gibbs, I'm going to try to call you, but if I have any issues with the phone number, if you do not receive a call this afternoon, then I can give you the public defender phone number. Do you have that?
I have the one that I had last time. I'm gonna contact him anyway when I get off of court.
Okay, great.
Okay. Then Ms. Gibbs, you are free to sign out. Thank you.
Oh, I thought there was something else. Yeah. I put that in there because, yeah, March 27th, she has attitude. I feel like we've seen her before, too. She keeps being ordered to turn herself in, and she doesn't, and then she goes back to court on warrants to turn herself in that she hasn't done. Wixom, I have not met Judge Braley. For whatever reason, whenever I make my court trips, I just skip Ypsilanti. Yips. I always say Yips. I know you guys are going to yell at me. I always skip it for some reason. I need to just stop there. Right now, their courtroom or their courthouse is under construction. So even if I did stop there, they wouldn't be there. It would be closed. But I do need to make a trip to the courthouse once it's back up. And Sparkle Poats, does one graduate to judge from magistrate by election or assignment? Both. It's really both. Magistrates are they're appointed, or they're appointed by the judge. But there are elected judges and assigned judges as well. It's jurisdictional based, and I'm gonna guess it's probably depends on how large of a population is in the area, whether or not like how many judges you have, and I don't know. But it's definitely jurisdiction based. It's not the same in every. It's not the same in every state. It's not the same in every city. So, but yeah, hopefully that answered it a little bit. Okay, I think we're moving on to the last one. I believe. Hold on, let me play it for a second. Yep. All right, we're back in Judge Iorochi's courtroom for one reason. This is a follow-up to a sovereign citizen. This is the lady that got arrested. She got arrested because she was yelling at the judge. She was saying, you're kidnapping me. This is illegal. And then she went to Facebook and complained about it. I think most of us have seen that video. Well, she was back. She has an attorney. She dropped the script. I don't know what happened in that week. But I would say that jail changed her, but no, she got out of jail and created that obnoxious Facebook video. But she's back. This is her. Let's go.
Okay, the court is on the record in City of Conneaut versus Amber R. McHenry, case number 24 TRD 527. This case is set for a status conference today prior to the jury trial that's scheduled at the end of this month. Ms. McHenry is present. She's accompanied by her attorney, Mafi Sayej. Also present is Law Director John Lewis. Court is in receipt of a pretrial report. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. We may have a resolution of the matter, should the court be willing to accept it, whereby the city would dismiss the fictitious plate charge at defendant's cost. And Ms. McHenry would then enter plea of guilty to the two.
Yeah, he was sitting in the pew the last hearing. There was no one in the courtroom. They did it all virtually, so there was nobody there. So he sat down. But there are people there, so he's gonna do his job. But she's taking a plea. She's taking a plea deal. It's weird. She was so cocky too.
Remaining charges of failure to reinstate, driving under suspension, and expired plates. The city would then recommend whatever fines the court would deem appropriate along with the court costs of the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sayej.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did convey the offer from Law Director Lewis to my client, Ms. McHenry, after extensive talks and going over what she would be waiving today. She has decided today that she would take the plea offer along with the state's recommendation of just court costs and fines. All we ask, Your Honor, is if the court can give Ms. McHenry some ample time to pay. She has informed me, she has other issues to deal with outside of this court, so she just does need some significant time to make the court costs and fines.
And other court costs from this court also, so it's already out.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. He's recommending fines and court costs.
Yes.
He is recommending a fine. you know, I just
Oh,
want to
yes,
make
yes,
sure.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's just not being, one charge is being dismissed at her cost.
Right,
But he's asking that fines be imposed on the other two charges.
yes.
Okay. Okay, Ms. McHenry, it's my understanding today that you wish to change, well, you originally entered no plea to charges of failure to reinstate an unclassified.
I've got a fun fact for you, and I really hope Judge Slavin doesn't hear this because I'm ratting on him right now. The robe that Judge Slavin wears in the summer is, I think he told me it's like 20 years old. It's just super holy. It's torn to shreds, but the front half of it is still in really good condition, so you can't tell. And he wears it because it gets so hot in his courtroom that it's like he calls it his air conditioning. But then he has formal robes and everything for occasions. But he's like, you know, it's when it's 100 degrees outside, I wear my I wear my old robe because it has built-in air conditioning. It's funny. Funny.
Misdemeanor and expired plates, a minor misdemeanor. You wish to enter guilty pleas to those two charges. In exchange for those guilty pleas, the fourth-degree misdemeanor charge of fictitious plates would be dismissed at your cost. Is that what you would like to see happen today?
I believe so.
You understand by pleading guilty to those charges that you would be waiving your right to the jury trial that is currently scheduled at the end of the month, as well as all of your trial rights. We just had a trial last week, so you kind of know what a trial is like. So by pleading guilty to these two charges, you'd be waiving all of those trial rights. Is that what you wish to do?
Would that put an end to litigation?
Yes, it would.
I mean,
I'm sorry?
yes.
Okay. Also, you are represented by Mr. Sayed. Have you had sufficient time to consult with him, and are you satisfied with his counsel?
Yes.
Okay. I do find that defendant's pleas of guilty to these minor and unclassified misdemeanor offenses in subcase A and B, failure to reinstate and expired plates, to be knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. The court will accept the guilty pleas to those two charges, and I will therefore find her guilty of those offenses. I will dismiss at the defendant's cost the fictitious plates charge in subcase C. Okay, before I proceed to sentence, is there anything that you or your client would like to say, Mr. Sayed, in mitigation?
Your Honor, just as indicated earlier, just as long as she's given ample time to pay, as she indicated herself too, she has other court costs and fines out of this court. Besides that, nothing further.
Ms. McHenry, is there anything you would like to say at this time before I impose sentence?
No.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Lewis?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. She sounds defeated, though. She does not sound happy about doing this. No idea. Maybe she just realized that sovereign citizen is not a real thing. Well, sorry, that's not true. Sovereign citizens are a real thing. It just doesn't work in court. We still have a couple minutes left of this. And I made this mistake last week, and Katie Zed and KFAR both made me believe that it was Wednesday when it was in fact Tuesday. And they're doing it again this week because they are doing booze and body cam tonight. I don't know if they're doing it, if that's what their new thing, if they're going to do it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from now on. I'm not sure. But what do you guys want to do? Because it's usually Wednesday night I raid booze and body cam, and then Tuesday night is generally Lone Wolf. But I'm going to let you guys decide. Where do you want to go? Booze and body cam or Lone Wolf? Let you guys pick tonight.
Are you able to work? Are you working?
Yeah, I take care of mentally and physically disabled people.
Okay. The reason I ask is because there is a component of community work service in the failure to reinstate. If you're full-time work, I'm less inclined to do that. Are you working full-time?
Yes.
Okay. On the failure to reinstate charge, a $150 fine and costs. On the on the expired plates charge, a $50 fine and court costs. Did you have insurance in the vehicle you were driving that day, a 2006 Honda Civic?
No.
Okay. Just advising you of your right to appeal, of your right to appeal without cost, of your right to have counsel appointed on appeal without cost, of your right to have documents provided to you necessary to file an appeal without cost, and of your right to have a notice of appeal timely filed on your behalf. So Ms. McHenry, I did not impose community work service. I could have. I did not impose a Class 7 license suspension. I could have on the failure to reinstate charge. I've just given you a fine and cost, although I'm ordering you to provide proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day. If you're not able to provide to the clerk proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day, you are subject to what we call a non-compliance suspension with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. I guess what I'm saying, Ms. Henry, I could have sentenced you in a much more severe way. I did not. But understand that if you're back here with similar offenses and you're found guilty of those, I will impose those.
Apparently. Yeah, that was weird. I wasn't expecting that either. Nice catch though, Grizzly Old Fart. All right. No one really said anything. Got one for Lone Wolf, one for Katie Zed, and then we have a don't go to Lone Wolf. Those are the three. So I'm going to say that the Lone Wolf and not Lone Wolf cancel each other out, so we'll go to Katie Zed. Not too much audience participation in that poll. All right, so I will rate Katie Zed. So I'm going to set that up. There's about a minute left. I'm going to let the rest of this video play out. Yeah, I have no idea what changed in her life when she just took this plea deal instead of taking it to jury trial, because she was a jerk about it. She was absolutely a jerk about it. I thought this was going to be a fiery trial. I was actually thinking about going up there. But yeah. I think Hutch told me she has another case on the docket for next week that's not the trial. So I wonder if they grouped both of those charges into this plea deal, or if that was still going on. So we might still see her. That actually might be this week. I don't know. Hutch, are you still here? No, we'll talk later. All right. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. I'm working on a project right now, and if all goes to plan, everybody, you'll hear it here first. Team Skeptic will be on my channel Thursday night, covering something with me. So that's the plan right now. It's not set in stone. I probably should not have said that, but you know me, I like spoiling things. That is the plan as of now. But yeah, it's subject to change. The night might swap. It might actually be not till next week, because he's out of the country. So I don't know why I'm even saying this out loud. So we're just gonna move on. Pretend I didn't say this. You guys have a great rest of your night. Make sure you all go and tell Katie Zed and KFAR I said hello. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Until next time, bye.
What I didn't do today, I would do at a later time. Do you have anything further, Mr. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Syedge?
Not at this time, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Ms. McHenry, the clerk will calculate all that is owed. Well, I'm sorry, I did not address. How much can you afford to pay this court on a monthly basis?
Monthly, probably, well, I don't think I have something set up with the other one yet either.
Well, I'm going to set it up for all of them.
For all of them? Okay,
Yeah.
like I could do $100 a month for if we're just pulling it together.
And when can the first payment be made?
My next paycheck, hold on 1 second. I believe my next paycheck will be on the 20th. So I could start then.
Okay, so I'll say $100 per month starting on March 20th, 2025 and continuing no later than the 20th day of each month thereafter, until all fines and costs are paid in all cases. I will set a review hearing in 4 months, just to monitor how things are going. The clerk will give you a hearing date. Okay. Okay, this matter is concluded then. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.